Mask making, from past to present. While brainstorming ideas for this lesson, I first looked through the Learning Through Art Teacher's Guide. I found an interesting activity about creating masks from paper. I used the lesson chart from the guide and integrated the activity with language arts, specifically TEKS 3B about comparing and contrasting characters, except in our case we'd be comparing masks. For the start of the lesson, I planned for the students to come up with a list of masks that are used today. This was intended for them to see the connection between the masks we would later observe and present-day uses for them. The students' responses could range from a catcher's mask to a doctor's mask to even a Halloween mask. For the next step of the lesson, each pair of students would receive a Venn diagram, 2 pictures of masks from Western Africa, and an information sheet. They will use these materials to record the similarities and differences between the 2 masks. The first cultural exemplar is a Bamileke elephant mask from the Cameroon grasslands, made sometime between 1900 and 1950. It depicts a human face with padded eyes, nose, and lips. The second exemplar is a Bobo helmet mask with buffalo horns from Burkina Faso. It is from the early 20th century and pays homage to the buffalo, a greatly feared animal. Now comes time for the students to create their masks. First, they will have to choose an animal to depict. Then, we will work step by step to create the framework for this mask. It is essentially a construction paper box with one side left open for the face. The students will hold the paper up to their faces, feel where their nose and eyes are, lightly mark those spots with a pencil, and finally cut them out by folding. To elaborate upon the masks, the students will add features that represent their chosen animal. They will do this by using paper cutting techniques as well as markers and other drawing tools. As an evaluation, the students will respond to the following questions in their reading journals. How do the masks from the past that we observed differ from masks used today? What purposes did the Bamileke and Bobo masks have? How did you decorate your mask to represent the animal that you chose? While teaching the lesson, some students mentioned that they had never previously thought about masks as much more than part of a costume. They found interesting similarities between the 2 cultural masks we looked at, such as they both have something extending from the head, ears on the Bamileke, and horns on the Bobo. The students had some trouble creating the box structure for the mask, but once they understood the instructions, the task became easier. Decorating the masks seemed to be their favorite part. As I reflect back on this experience, what stands out most to me is the enthusiasm with which the students created and decorated their masks. They truly tapped into their creative side by using techniques such as curling paper to portray whiskers. Furthermore, analyzing the cultural artifacts allowed the students to learn about an art form from a different part of the world.